I wish to welcome you all here today.
Maşallah.
Wonderful.
Maşallah. Barekallah. Bu ne mutluluk.
What a joyous occasion.
Ne büyük coşku.
What a joy. Kütahya today, befitting of itself, is living a different joy. Yes, on the anniversary of the great offensive, 2023 assault is in the making. Are we ready? Are we ready? Last we met in 2019 March, face to face. Later, we had a pandemic, and about 3.5 years later, yes, now we are here again. Dumlupınar Victory's centennial anniversary has brought us together in Kütahya to welcome you people, also celebrate the victory, and also open many services and achievements in a ceremony. Hopefully soon, thank you. Hopefully soon we will have the opening ceremony for some buildings through online interviews. Last Thursday in Antalya and on Friday with Mr. Bahçeli, we were at Malazgirt. Sultan Alparslan, against the Diogenes of the Byzantine Empire, has achieved victory, opening the gates of Anatolia to our people in Malazgirt. With our national struggle, the centuries-long hatred and kin has aimed us, trying to remove us from the eternal home of Anatolia, once again was rejected. Selçuklu and Ottoman Empire's heritage continued onward with our republic. With blood and sweat we achieved victory. In the First World War, cross all sides, against 7 nations, from Dardanelles to Kutulamare, on many battlegrounds, Ottoman Empire had achieved victories. But with the invasion of Istanbul and the Treaty of Sevres was defeated on table. Cross our borders, we were invaded, and the enemies in Adana, Antep, Maraş were resisted and saw that their days were counted and their agencies were left to the Greeks. With our war of independence, with the Gazi Mustafa Kemal Atatürk in lead, our people carried Anatolia to victory with their lives on the line, with their armies in Kocatepe and Dumlupınar, wrote a new legend in history. From Samsun to Ankara, with the Grand National Assembly's opening, we officially declared these procedures, and at every step, we've seen a nation emerge from the ashes. Difficult and tedious procedures led to our army's victory on a Friday. On August 25th, 4 victories were prepared. Units organized in trenches. That night, our dear youth. To our youth, that night, prayers were sung. Prayers were offered. We offered prayers. Last meals were eaten. And the morning after, as the dawn struck, the offensive began from Kocatepe to Dumlupınar and all the way to Izmir. The great offensive really shown that after a long period, the defensive Turkish army was now on the offensive. Enemies had machine guns, artillery, trucks, cars, planes, and had more than ours perhaps. But our soldiers had the courage and bravery to overcome such odds. The Greek army was on the retreat, and 210,000 forces, 60% of them were abandoned in Kütahya front lines. It is the belief, the courage that is the lead, that the courageous one lives ever after. Yes, this people, with that courage, fought against the cowards in Izmir. Average of same amount. Our soldiers against theirs only had 6.5% in losses. The great offensive and the following conflicts have shown that in the global military history that it was a successful example of offensive. The Turkish Declaration of Death has been signed as Treaty of Sevres, but with our effort, with tooth and nail, soaked in blood, we rejected that declaration and fought. Turks cannot be imprisoned. Turks cannot be buried 6 feet under. In August 26th, from Afyon to September 9th at Izmir, with this great offensive, we declared it to the world. Our eternal nation, independence of Anatolia, and the bright futures has been reminded to enemies and friends alike. To our youth, don't forget, your leader also is young. With the main wing, women wing, and youth wing, are we ready for 2023? Are we ready for 2023? Door to door, hopefully, we will have a new offensive. Yes, my dear brothers, in these times, in the Islamic world, across the geography, with many under pain and suffering, our friends also aided us. Before the great offensive, as of today, much like today, our military might, the monetary funds, all of our capabilities were boosted, and some rejected the notion of victory. But the fight was not just fought with guns or money, but with belief and courage and determination, as we all have witnessed. Our youth, don't forget that Indian Muslims have given serious sacrifices for a clandestine operation in Ankara with 600,000 bars of gold, which was a resource for the great offensive. If you excuse me, I want to take off this jacket. Before the great offensive, 100,000 man force in great stealth over barns and forests, have reached beyond the enemy front, which was, in global history of battlefield, was a success. Our soldiers shouted and cried in their assault, and in 2 days, all fronts across Afyon were defeated. By the evening, on the horizon of cities, there were prayers, and Greeks had destroyed the city of Afyon, which, liberated, now cried in joy. Now, the same picture had appeared again on August 30th in Kütahya. Right here, the Greek armies, in 4 days, with the imprisonment of their commanders, had scrambled, and against Turkish forces were defeated. On one hand, our armies marched towards Izmir. On the other hand, Greeks towards Eskişehir's north were chased after. With this follow-up, on September 9th, with the liberation of Izmir, achieved success. Enemies retreated and had applied scorched earth tactics, which shows their foul character as proof of evidence as of today. Much like today, as the poet said, this day of August in history means life. This day in August is day of courage, of might. This day in August is the sun of liberation dawning, independence lit as a torch. This August we called out to the world that it is the land of lions. Do not allow any other predators. Yes, this day of August, centennial anniversary, with the great offensive in success, the leading commander, Mustafa Kemal Pasha, leading commanders, Marshal Fevzi Çakmak, Western Front Commander İsmet Pasha, First Army, the Nurettin Pasha, the Second Army, Yakup Şevki Pasha, 5th Cavalry Commander Fahrettin Altan Pasha, from soldier to commander to lieutenant, to all of our soldiers, we offer the mightiest of commemorants. Our people, in last 2 decades, have lost and re-emerged again based on its spirits and resisted against attacks of all kinds. 6 centuries of jihad with Ottoman had been forgotten, but our republic built in its stead. We fought against coups and crises alike. We always had a strong belief and courage. And today, the same symbol I see in Kütahya. This method shows that we emerged victorious, defended against all, always patient, always fighting. But we knew, which was that it is the patience that wins the wars. Against those enemies, our people had won the great offensive. After the Republic's foundation, hoped and dreamed for a secular, developed Turkey, and waited for emergence. For the longest time, our developments, our democracy, our industrialization was achieved in success. But our values, my values, were under threat, and to the last point, my values were attacked. After World War II, even in harsher conditions, nations under their democracy and development had achieved success. But we, as of every decade, faced coup after crisis. Without a doubt, this was not because of our mistakes or lacking points, But
her alanda
the
gerek olması
entirety
için
of
kurulan
Turkey
o mekanizmalar
slowed down
öylesine güçlü
with
ki,
mechanisms so
iyi niyetli
strong
kimi girişimler
that every
bunun
goodwill
üstesinden gelmeye yetmiyor.
entrepreneurship
Bu süreçte
was squandered by Menderes or Özal with their own kind of efforts. Erdoğan and Turkish had displayed national stances against this, which we honor.
Hükümete geldiğimizde
When we took
2
office
asırdır altyapısı ihmal
with
edilmiş.
the ignored infrastructure of 2 decades and democracy and economy in stagnation, might in politics and military stagnant, we grabbed this Turkey. Yes, we got to work and said that the infrastructure of Turkey in 20 years will be developed in our favor. Education to health, security to justice, transportation to energy, industry to agriculture. On every field, our nation would achieve the civilization goals we hope to achieve. Our development was important and strong, but against the pandemic and the global insecurities and crises was understood even more in detail. Developed nations and the whole world was thrown off balance, but we, towards our goals, always continued. Similarly, in democracy, we focused on rights and freedoms of our kinds of citizens to defend them against the social insecurities or terrorism, and eliminated all other types of existence in corruption. In fight against terrorism, in terms of Turkish problems, was at number 1.
Gabar'a girdik mi?
We invaded Gabar,
Cudi'ye girdik mi?
invaded Judi,
Tendüre'ye girdik
in
mi?
Tendure,
Bester derisine
Bester
girdik mi?
Lake.
Bütün
All of these
terör inlerini
terrorist
bunların
centers
kafalarına
and nests
geçirdik
were
mi?
crushed one after other
Yurt içinde, yurt dışında.
in our
Bunu
borders
başardık
or
mı?
cross. We achieved
Bundan
this.
sonra da başarmaya
And after this,
aynen
we will
devam.
continue to achieve it.
Bu mücadele elbette
Our
kolay
fight, of
gerçekleşmedi.
course, is not easy.
Attığımız her adımda
Every step we
dışarıdan
took
ve içeriden
faced
kaynaklanan
resistance
nice engellerle
internally and
karşılaştık.
externally.
Nice kavgalar verdik.
Many fights
Nice
were
bedeller
fought.
ödedik.
Many
Ama
prices were paid.
Hamdolsun.
But
Allah'ın
blessed be,
yardımı
with the
ve
help of
milletimizin
Allah
desteğiyle
and the support
hepsinin
of
de
people,
üstesinden geldik.
we overcame all of it.
Gençler,
To our youth,
milletimize kazandırdığımız
our
eser
people
ve
had
hizmetler yanında
seen buildings and
küresel
achievements
ve
and
bölgesel
services,
gelişmelerde
as well
Türkiye'yi
as in
her
global
bakımdan
and regional developments.
dünyanın en
We
stratejik
made Turkey
ülkelerinden
a
biri
strategic
haline getirdik.
point of
Bugün
importance.
Türkiye'yi
Today's
dünyanın
Turkey
en
in the
büyük
world
10
is
ülkesi arasına
seen,
girmeyi hedefleyen
hope to be seen
bir
in the
vizyona
top 10 global
kavuşturduysak,
nations
bunu
with
son
my
20 yılda
vision,
kurduğumuz
with the
altyapıya
last 2 decades
ve
of
verdiğimiz
infrastructure
mücadeleye
development
borçluyuz.
and the fight
Son
we
dönemde
fought.
milletimizin
In
canını
recent
yakan
times, our people are hurt because of some
Ama bu dünyanın da
problems,
sorunu.
but that's also a global
Siz bakmayın
issue.
Avrupa'sından
Don't look
Amerika'sına
at
kadar.
Europe or
Tüm
America.
gelişmiş ülkelerin
All developed
sanki böyle bir
nations
sorunları yokmuş gibi
have
davrandığını,
such problems
emin
too.
olun,
Rest
onların
assured,
başındaki kara bulutların
their
taşıdığı felaket
clouds
yağmurları
are darkening.
bizim yaşadıklarımızla
They will
mukayese bile
face
edilmez.
downpour.
Bak, doğal
We
gaz
will not
bulamıyor.
have this. They can't
Şu
have
anda
natural gas.
marketlerin
Right
rafları
now,
Avrupa'da
their
boş.
markets in Europe are empty.
Şimdi biz
Now,
tarım kredi
we, with
kooperatifleriyle
agricultural credit
inşallah
cooperation markets,
vatandaşımıza
hopefully
daha ucuza
will provide people
ürünlerimizi
food
satmaya başladık.
at cheaper
bu
prices,
artarak
which
devam
hopefully will increase in quantity.
Devam edecek.
It will continue.
Ve
And
300 tane marketi
1,300 markets will open and later will rise above 2,500 markets, and my people will finally find cheap goods in agricultural markets. Turkey, decades ago, chose production, changed the economic model, so it faced the losses of global crises. Hopefully, after New Year's, with the precautions and applications on policies we've taken, we will finally see some positive development in people's lives. I always say, my brothers, I ask patience and more support, because our strength is our subjects, our unity, our brotherhood. With security and prosperity in dreams, those countries that achieved such things are yet to see crisis. Their supply and demand off balance, finances unsecure and unstable, unemployment and social unrest will surely develop, and they will start to scramble soon. But we, with the stresses, big or small, continued along our path. 11 years ago, in 2011 elections, we said, our people, in the centennial anniversary of Republic, we declared our goals of 2023. Some people criticized us, mocked us even. To our youth, we lived through many hurdles, but we continue to dream. We are compensating as needed. Towards our 2023, we received the strength for the vision for 2053. And later, we will have a 2071 ideal. And as we've said before, are we ready for this? We will rename this century a Turkish century. Now, from Kütahya, I want to hear a cry so loud that everyone should hear what we dream. Are we ready? Kütahya, for a big and strong Turkey. Are we ready? Kütahya, towards 2053 vision, are we ready? Kütahya, for our nation, there are enemies that want to see us kneel down. Are we ready to defeat them and disappoint them once again? May the Maker bless us all. A century ago, at the Great Offensive and later, we've achieved independence, as we had talked about before. Today's Turkey has a history which I interpret for you. We talked about the world and said that Kütahya, in this grand picture, where is it? Let's talk about Kütahya. With investments, constructions, services provided. Compared to 80 other provinces, Kütahya has been beautified. In last 20 years, Kütahya has seen a total investment of how much again? Yes, 26 billion liras. I did this, yes. In education, 2,685 new classrooms were built. Second state university, Kütahya Health University, was founded. In youth and sports, higher education dormitory bed capacity has risen to 12,234. 46 new sports facilities were built in Kütahya, yes. In social aid, Kütahya has been provided a total of 1.7 billion liras of resources. In health, a total of 1,500 beds, 11 hospitals and 43 health facilities were built. 610 bed capacity Kütahya State Hospital and Bomariç Integrated State Hospitals constructions are on the way. In environment, Kütahya, TOKİ, has seen 10,785 apartments built and delivered and 2,891 under construction. In our city, there are 6 people's gardens being built. 1 has been realized and finalized, 2 are under construction, and 3 are in draft. Kütahya, Afyonkarahisar, Uşak, and Eskişehir provinces with the Frigya Valley, which has been converted to an open-air museum in Anatolia. In this region, culture and thermal tourism has been developed with a comprehensive draft plan. In transportation, in Kütahya, 24 kilometers of road has been expanded to what? 317 kilometers added for a total of 341 kilometers. And we are still constructing it. As long as with many other types of road, hopefully some will be delivered next year or the year after. In the borders, all railroads have been reconstructed from scratch. To our youth, in agriculture, Kütahya has seen 20 dams and 6 lakes and 7 dams and 2 lakes to be built later. Watering projects have been realized in Kütahya for 168,000 hectares of land open for watering. 13 watering facilities and a total of 1,300 more hectares of land are being constructed. To our farmers, Mr. Kemal says that our farmers has seen 1.5 billion lira in agricultural aid. In industry and technology, Kütahya has seen 3 new industrial zones, 1 technopark, 9 R&D centers, and 3 design centers. In energy, Kütahya, underlining this, in Çavdarhisar, Emet, Yediz, Hisarcık, Kuruçay, Simav, and Tavşanlı has seen natural gas services provided. In the upcoming years, Altıntaş, Citgöl, Demirci, Domaniç, Eski Gediz, Naşa, Seyit Ömer, and Tunçbilek will also be provided natural gas. As it can be seen, we explain everything, and we have done much to Kütahya. Here today, in recent years, there has been 344 projects finalized, will be opened. Our ministries and municipalities have invested a total amount for 5.5 million liras.
eğitimden sağlığa,
education to health, transportation to infrastructure, energy to security. On a wide range of sectors, these investments will benefit our city.
ayrıca
Also,
temeli atılan tesisler var.
there are some
Onların da Kütahya'mıza
constructions.
hayırlı olmasını temenni
I
ediyorum.
wish for them the best
Kütahya'nın
too.
gelişmesine,
For development of
büyümesine,
Kütahya, expansion and
katkıda bulunan
uprise
bu
of
yatırımları
Kütahya,
gerçekleştiren
these investments have been
bakanlıklarımızı,
realized by our
kurumlarımızı,
ministries, organizations,
belediyelerimizi,
municipalities,
özel sektörümüzü
and
tebrik
private
ediyorum.
sector alike.
Büyük
I thank
taarruzun
them
ve
on the
Kütahya'nın
great
düşman
offensive
işgalinden
and the
kurtuluşunun
liberation of Kütahya's
100. yıl
anniversary,
dönümünü
centennial anniversary.
ediyorum.
I offer my congratulations.
Anadolu'yu
Anatolia has been declared as our eternal home once again by our martyrs and veterans alike. I offer my condolences,
ordularımızın başkomutanı,
our
Gazi
commander,
Mustafa Kemal başta
to
olmak
Gazi Mustafa Kemal
zaferde
Pasha
emeği geçen
and his comrades in arms, to everyone,
şehitlerimiz,
to our
gazilerimiz,
martyrs, our veterans, to
şükranla yad
every
ediyorum.
single one of them, I offer
Sizlere
my gratitude.
sevgilerimi,
I extend
saygılarımı
my
sunuyorum.
love and greetings to
Şimdi
you.
temel atma ve
Now,
açılışlarımızı
we
yapmak
will
üzere
hold the grand opening ceremonies for live
Güral
broadcasts.
Seramik Fabrikası'ndan
Güral
başlayarak
Ceramic Factory
sırasıyla
and following
Dumlupınar
it
Müzesi'ne,
with Dumlupınar Museum,
BG Kütahya
NG
Seramik Fabrikası,
Kütahya Ceramic
ve
Factory
Tulu Seramik
and
Fabrikası'na
Tulu Ceramic
bağlanacağız.
Factories will be connected
hayırlı olsun
live
diyoruz.
for
Ya
the best.
Allah! Bismillah.
Cumhurbaşkanımız Sayın Recep Tayyip Erdoğan'a konuşmaları için çok teşekkür ediyor ve Sayın Cumhurbaşkanımızı bir müddet daha sahnede misafir ediyoruz. Saygıdeğer hemşehrilerimiz, Cumhurbaşkanımıza refakat etmek üzere Sayın Cumhurbaşkanı Yardımcımızı, Sayın Bakanlarımızı, Sayın Genel Başkan Yardımcılarımızı, Sayın Milletvekillerimizi, Sayın Valimizi, Sayın AK Parti Kütahya İl Başkanımızı, Milliyetçi Hareket Partisi İl Başkanımızı sahneye davet ediyoruz. Buyurunuz lütfen.